Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Another movie review. Tonight's movie is Thumper, as you know, because you clicked on it. Every now and again, Netflix likes to recommend movies to me, and this is one that came through. Not one I've ever heard of before, but I figured I'd give it a shot, and maybe you're interested in learning a little bit more about it yourself. So it's about a small town or a small area of low-income kids. A lot of drugs going on, meth and things like that, and these kids get involved with this drug dealer, and then some mysterious girl comes to town and she has a lot of dark secrets or something like that. That's how it reads anyway. 5.9 from IMDb. Now here's the kicker, this is why I decided to watch it. Rotten Tomatoes, 88% from the critics, 69% from the audience. So there's a little potential here. As I look at the names of the actors and actresses, I see Lena Headey. The name rings a bell. She kind of looks familiar. But then Ben Feldman, I've seen him in a couple of different things. He's been in Silicon Valley, Friday the 13th. He's been in a couple of different things. You'd recognize the rosy cheeks on him, I think, is what reminds me, or what brings him out to me. I remember him from something. I don't know what it is. But enough of that. Let's get into it a little bit and see what it's about. It's a short run time, an hour and 32 minutes, so really don't got much to lose. I'll check it out for you. I'll check back in, give you a better idea of what the story is truly about, and then hopefully at some point tell you what I think. And hopefully it's good. Alright, stick around. I'll be back. Hey everybody, I want to do a quick check-in here. We're watching Thumper. We're at the 48-minute and 5-second mark, so over the halfway point. There's only 44 minutes left. But, you know, a lot has happened, so it's not as mysterious as you would think when they say the girl comes into town with her deep secrets. So, let me back you up here a little bit. There, you know, it's in California, probably LA or something like that. They don't tell you exactly where, but a close-knit group of kids. And there's this one guy who is basically, he cooks meth. And he's cousins with another kid, high school kid, who's friends, and they're the close-knit group of friends that hang out. And it seems like his cousin does the meth dealing for him. So he does the cooking, he does the dealing, and then his friend is, you know, he's part of it too. He's trying to get involved. It's not a big deal, but, you know, they party, they hang out and stuff like that. So that's kind of the background there, the relationship between the cooker and these kids who are selling it for him. And then the girl who comes in, kind of new to the school, and this is released very early, so I'm not spoiling. It's not a spoiler alert. She's actually an undercover cop, so it's 21 Jump Street. So she's trying to get in to find out who the cook is, and building relationships with everybody in the group. So that's really what's going on. She's built the relationship with the one younger kid, and getting to know him a little bit more so that she can take them all down. That's the premise of the entire movie. So far, so good. Interesting. It's interesting to see, like, you know, like how other people, you know, this generation maybe, or how other people interact. So it's slightly different. It could also be a West Coast thing. I'm an East Coast guy, so they have different ways of hanging out and talking, and that's fun. But you could see the cook is a little bit mean guy. He picks on his cousins, picks on everybody, throws his weight around. He's also a man, where the other ones are just kids. But he reminds me of John Bernthal. I keep looking at him. They probably asked him to play that role, and he wouldn't. And now they got this guy just like him, looks, acts, talks like him. And then the cop. Now she kind of looks like Reese Witherspoon, a younger version of her. Doesn't act or talk like her, but she has the resemblance of that. So, so she's an undercover cop. She also has a child with what seems to be an ex-husband. They're not a big role in that, but that's part of it so far. So far so good. Very interesting. I'm interested to see what happens here, what happens with their relationship, because they're building that relationship. But of course, she's probably an adult and he's underage. I don't know. They didn't say how old he was, but I'm assuming he's probably under 18 and she's not. So, and that's about it. We'll see where it goes from here. But now you understand a little bit more about the film, and probably check in at the credits because there's not a lot of time left. And I'll let you know if anything else interesting happened and what I thought of the film. Alright? Alright, see you in a bit. Hey everybody. We're at the credits of Thumper. Well, the credits aren't rolling because you have to turn it off on Netflix or it just keeps playing the next movie for you. But anyway, so the movie's over. Like I said, only an hour and 32 minutes. and it was good. I'm slightly disappointed, slightly at the end. I mean, they really built it up at the end for a big dramatic climax, and I liked that there was a lot of intensity at the end. You know, you're not really sure what's going to happen, and it made it pretty exciting. One thing I failed to mention, well, I didn't fail to mention, I talked about it a little bit, was this undercover cop. She also has a child with her ex-husband, it seems like. I don't know, they don't ever say. But you could see them, because of her work, she's losing the relationship with her son. So the son is like drifting away from each other. So that's a small plot. You know, they have maybe 2 scenes dedicated to that background of the story. So anyway, you know, the movie continues on, and you know, she's an undercover cop, and the boy she's leaning on or developing a small relationship with, his name is Beaver. I couldn't remember it before. So he's friends with Troy, who's the cousin of the guy who cooks the meth, the John Bernthal guy. So that's all the relationship. So she's trying to figure it all out so that she could eventually take down the cook, as I mentioned. But Beaver was his name, and they have that little relationship going there, trying to get in. And they've really built it up. And here's my problem with the movie. I really enjoyed it, but they built the movie up based on Beaver and Troy and Wyatt, I think. He's the cook, and these other kids and stuff like that. And they a lot of character development, and she was developed slightly, like I said, a couple of scenes on it. But when the movie ends, it's more a reflection on her than it is the kids. So it took a very quick turn for me. You know, in the dramatic climax, you would think more focus on what the whole story was leading you up to than what they flipped it around to. I know it's hard. It sounds like I'm talking in riddles, but if you watch this, you'll probably see what I mean. Again, it was good. It's just the whole focal point of the movies was these kids, this Beaver kid and his friend Troy and this other guy, and you know, they're friends and everything that's going on. And yes, she comes in and she's trying to interweave herself so that she can, you know, make the big bust at the end. And then I don't know. They kind of, at the conclusion, they didn't focus on what the whole story was built up to be. They really focused on her. So that was that part of the reason I didn't like it so much. The movie was good. Nothing groundbreaking. Entertaining enough. Hour and 32 minutes, so you're not losing a lot of time. I'd probably recommend it. I'd check it out. Probably going to give it a 6 or a 7. Probably a 7. I think. Maybe a 6. I don't know. I did like this Beaver. I like that actor. I like the way that he acts. So I'd like to see him in some more things. The John Bernthal, I looked him up. That's not his name. His name's Pablo something. I'll put it in the thing down below. But he was in 13 Hours. So that was a great movie. If you haven't seen that, check that out. But he doesn't look the same, so I didn't recognize him. But anyway, that's it for me. Decent, not great. Hour and 32 minutes. You can't really lose. You're not going to be ultimately disappointed that you wasted an hour and 32 minutes, because it's not wasted. It was entertaining. So check it out. Let me know what you think. Love to hear from you. See if you saw the same bait and switch at the end that I did. No major, like, you know, nothing major like a plot twist. It just, their focal point changed, which was weird. And that's it. Alright, thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.